morning as we set sail for Palau. We have a good weather window for our 500 nautical mile journey. Originally, we planned on diving at Helen Reef, but we've decided to make the best of the wind and go direct to Koror. Sail on, sailor. Not long after our departure, we are greeted by a large pod of dolphins. No matter how many times we've seen dolphins while sailing, each time is equally exhilarating. We never tire of these visitors playing at Field Trip's bow.
Alright, this is day one of our passage from Indonesia up to Palau. And we left at about, 9 o'clock this morning. It's currently 2 o'clock. We've set our clocks ahead 1 hour because we'll have a time change, so we went ahead and just set them ahead, so we'll be on the new time. I'm just having my lunch. This morning we went through our ditch bag as we were underway and just gathered all the things that we needed to replenish and make sure that the ditch bag is current, up to date, ready to go. We have had very little wind, so we're motoring along and there's thunder in the background. We might get some rain. We'll see about that. So I think we're pretty ready to go. It's going to be probably a 5-day sail, which is a longer one than we've had in a while. So we're just trying to get our everything ticked and tied. Mark did the rigging check this morning. We've got everybody on the same page with emergency drills. We went through our safety briefing this morning, and so we are off to another country, Palau.
Oh no, what's happening with our plants, guys?
Just throw them out. Palau doesn't allow plants.
Yeah, Palau doesn't allow plants?
Yeah.
You guys have worked really hard on these plants. What's that one you're throwing overboard? Looks like a pretty good plant.
Pepper plant.
Pepper?
Chili pepper.
Chili pepper?
Yeah.
Oh no. It's like a really good one too, isn't it?
We grew them from seedlings.
From seeds?
Yeah.
Those came from seeds?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, we actually grew them the whole way.
Yeah. From a small seed to that?
Yeah.
Wow.
I want some mint.
You want some mint still?
I want to munch on the mint as we're sailing. I'm not ready to give it up yet.
Yeah, understandable. Good stuff. Well, anyway, sometimes what's what you have to do. Why are we doing this again? What's the reason?
Well, we're going into Palau, which is a country much like New Zealand and Australia and the United States that requires, because it's an island country, it's very careful with its ecology and making sure that there's nothing that's brought in that's going to be a problem with any of its ecological systems. So they're very picky about what we bring in. We cannot bring in any fresh fruits, any produce whatsoever, any dirt or organic materials, no eggs, probably no meat, I'm guessing. So we're being proactive and getting rid of all of our things now, far away from their little island community, so that we don't bring anything with us. That's the deal.
That's the deal. That's the sadness.
Sad, but understandable.
Hey, let me get that one. That's what I look like while filming. I'll do that.
It never takes Mark long, if the conditions are right, to pull out our parasailer. We love this sail because it's very easy to drive in variable winds once the sail gets set. Usually, in light winds like this, we can handle a 30 to 40 degree wind shift without having to change the sail. Instead, we tweak the sheets and guy, those lines on the bottom corners of the sail, to adjust for the changing wind angle. After we get the sail up, we just need to adjust the trim to accommodate our point of sail. This usually takes a couple of minutes of tweaking as the boat and sail settle onto our course.
All right, we've got the spinnaker all set and it's flying well, flying nicely. We're moving along at about 3 knots. We have about 5 knots of wind, so pretty slow going, but it's comfortable. Nobody's seasick. Everybody's just kind of chilling and enjoying the quiet of not having the engine running. So it's about 2 o'clock, 2:30 on day 2, and Mark is taking a nap, and we are just enjoying the beautiful sunny day out here. There's not much here. So I'm going to show you my trick, okay? Because your mom is a simpleton, and so I have to make these like visible ideas in my head so I can make sure I turn the right way when it's collapsing. So if it starts collapsing on this side, it starts folding over from this side, then I know I need to turn that way. It's telling me to turn that way. Okay, if it starts collapsing from this side, then I need to turn that way. Okay, just a little bit. A few clicks on the autopilot. Okay. All right.
Michael, you're on watch. Good luck. You're on watch with the spinnaker. It's your first time being on watch with the spinnaker, isn't it?
Yeah. All it said, "Oh, Michael, you're on watch with a spinnaker. Good luck."
Well, it should be okay. Dad's not going to be too far away.
We are making decent progress on a dead run with about 7 to 8 knots of true wind. Slow sailing with a spinnaker is preferred over a boisterous sea with 20 knots of wind. Slow is pro in our book.
We're surrounded by a big, huge school of tuna right now, but we're only going about 2.5, 3 knots, so they're not at all attracted to our lures that we have trolling out the back. Close-up view of the spinnaker. These are the remarkable bits of day 2. The squally day at sea on day 3. Got our code zero out, but we're watching it very carefully with the wind. Definitely don't want to have that up and too high of winds. Lots of rain over there. And there's quite a bit of rain behind us as well. So. What do you think?
It's good.
It's good? What's good about it?
I don't know. But we'll hopefully get some rain.
Why do you want rain?
I don't know. I like rain.
Go do a rain dance? Fill up the sails, fill up the tanks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we are sailing, we have been tracking a typhoon that is just north of us and heading towards Guam. Right now, we're south of the storm, but it could affect our weather conditions as we get closer to Palau.
Okay.
Far away. That's us here. It shows you the wind forecast. So light winds, same direction coming out of the southwest. Predict wind, southwest, GFS, southwest. They're all coming from the same direction. So we're right down here, it's almost like right behind us right now, which is kind of where it is.
So predict wind, GFS, what are all those?
Different models.
Different models of wind predictions.
Correct.
Right.
So all 4 models show the wind basically coming out of this southwest to west-southwest.
And what's the speed? More than we've been having?
Yeah, fortunately, it's 10 knots. So.
Oh, that's good.
12 knots. So this is good. So we'll hopefully be able to sail the rest of the way.
Maybe that cyclone is helping us.
It is
get
helping
some
us
wind.
because this is the wind factor. It's sucking and creates it's actually a typhoon. The typhoons turn counterclockwise north of the equator. And so you can see as it spins this way, it's sucking the wind and really burning it this way, which is good. So that's what we've got. So we're fine with the typhoon that's coming across the top. And we're ready to get sailing now. We've had a motor from here all the way up there. Basically, we've had no wind. It's been very light winds. We've had current against us for some reason. We have the current model, but it is what it is.
Well, we are in the lee of this island over here. See it in the background. It's called Merir Island. Teeny tiny island on our way to Palau. And this is my favorite kind of sailing because we're in the lee, but we still have 12 knots of wind. So we're going like 6 knots and the seas are pretty flat. So we've gotten out of the bumpy seas and we are hiding behind this island, still getting wind, but still sailing. I mean, still getting wind, but flat seas. So this is my favorite kind of sailing. I'm gonna enjoy it while we have it for the next half hour or so before we get back into the big roll. Crank that winch!
The larger seas from the typhoon north of us have created a confused sea. While it's not terrible, it is still not as comfortable as the first part of our journey. The good news is we're only a day away from Palau, and we should be arriving tomorrow.
So Captain, what is going on?
Well, we are hoving to, so we just did a hove to maneuver on the boat, which basically means we've stopped the boat, both sails are up, but we've backed the Genoa so we can just sit here tonight for the next 9 or so hours and get some sleep. Not because we need to sleep, but because we don't want to be arriving to Palau at night. So we've got 9 to 10 hours to kill so we can get there in the morning, not at night. So that's what we're doing. I'm a little tired, but it's about 9:15 at night. We will be leaving tomorrow morning. We're just going to be hanging out here. We're doing about a knot or so drift, just kind of sitting here and going to go to sleep and just kind of hang out and have some rest. So there's the Genoa that's backed, and we've got like, I don't know, tons of reefs in that just because we don't want it to be laying on the shroud. And we've got ourselves here in a standstill position, about a knot or so drift, hove to. Okay, it is Wednesday morning, about 6:50 in the morning, and this is going to be our last day at sea. We are planning on arriving to Palau tomorrow morning around 9 a.m. We actually took the boat last night and stopped it. We hove to for a bit, and then we got a little out of sync. The wind died down, so then we just simply laid a hole, which means no sails are up. We just kind of drifted for most of the night to get some sleep because we were in no rush. We did not want to arrive to Palau in the dark, which would be arriving tonight. So we did the overnight at sea. Now we are sailing and heading to Palau. We've got pretty good conditions outside. Let's see, we're sitting at 10 knots apparent. We're doing about 6 to 6.5 knots. And we are 130 miles from Palau, so it's all good. We've got still sail slow, frankly, we're going too fast right now, but that's kind of it. Everybody's a little bit tired, even though we laid a hole. It's a little bit rolly out, so no one slept super great, but that's the story of field trip right now. So that's kind of what's going on and where we are. Okay, so for breakfast we're trying to get rid of our meat that we have on board, and in this case we've got bacon we're frying up. Making some bacon. Cook it all at one time. It actually cooks fine this way, and allows us to get it all cooked, because we're not allowed to take meats, at least we don't think so, and for sure fresh produce into Palau. So we're trying to use up what we've got. This came from Thailand, and we're just simply getting ready for eggs and bacon for breakfast, our second to last breakfast on our route to Palau.
Meet our feathered friend who spent the night on our bow. In the distance you can see Palau. One of the tasks for the kids when entering a new country is to make sure we have the Q flag flying. Today, Michael's on flag duty.
Always on my mind and way out of my league. You were born to be on display, and I'm hard to read. I thought of you
Elizabeth is making sure our stars and stripes are flying as well as we get ready to enter Palauan waters. This island is rich with World War II history, and we look forward to learning as much as we can while we're here.
Sunlight on the ripples. Somehow you noticed me.
You getting close to Palau? Who's on watch? I am. What's the status, see?
Well, we're finishing off our meat and vegetables and potatoes before we get there.
Why? You that hungry?
Because they take it away.
Okay.
And we're almost there. You can see it, it's like all around us now.
Yep.
And yeah,
We have a boat in front of us.
we have a boat in front of us. And the good thing is they put little markers on your buoys so we can see them on the map. They have little like chips or something.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's good. So we're almost to Palau. This is our entry into Palau. We're about coming through the channel. I'm going to call Port Control, let them know, to let immigration know, those guys know that we are en route to the harbor, and we're going to see what happens. So it's Port Control. Port Control, Port Control. This is sailing vessel field trip on 16, over.
Go ahead, this is Port Control.
Roger, this is sailing vessel field trip. We are entering the channel and we'll be proceeding to the dock for clearance. Over.
Which channel, over?
We are on the south channel. Over.
Yeah, you can go ahead and proceed to the Malacca port and we clear your vessel, over.
Okay, roger that. And we do not need line handlers. Over.
Okay, copy that.
All right, thank you. See you in about 45 minutes. Field trip standing by 16.
Copy, Port Control standing by 16.
Okay, so that's Port Control. We told them no line handlers, and the reason for that is we can tie up our own lines. If we don't, it's like $80 just to have these guys grab your line and tie it on a cleat, so that's kind of crazy. We can do it ourselves. So anyway, we're coming in the pass, and we're almost to Palau finally. It's been a good trip, but a long trip, so we're happy to be
Finally be going.
Finally be here. We are here.
We're all excited to be arriving in Palau. After spending over 2 years in Southeast Asia, it'll be nice to visit Micronesia for a change of pace, culture, and culinary delights.
Happiness gets nearer. The light that we see closing in so fast.
This commercial dock can get sketchy at best in bad wind and bumpy seas. We need to make sure our fenders are down and we're close enough to get our lines to the bollards on shore. The goal is not to damage field trip in the process.
Makes me smile. If nothing's broken us, yeah, nothing ever will.
Mark slowly backs up the stern up to the wall so I can disembark and tie up the boat. If we damage the boat, it would have been worth the $80 for a line handler. We'll see. Luckily, I make it ashore with no issues, and I get ready to grab the line from Elizabeth as she tosses it over to me from the bow.
Just hold on tight, it'll be alright.
Once we get tied securely to the dock, the officials come quickly and clear in our boat. We're thrilled to be in Palau safely and are ready to explore the island.